The practice of watching or observing your breath is called Prana Vikshana. To begin this practice, sit comfortably in a suitable place and close your eyes. Take a deep breath and give yourself a few moments to get settled down. Then, turn your attention to your breathing. As you inhale, mentally trace the passage of air as it enters your nostrils, as it flows down your windpipe, and as it fills your lungs. Then, as you exhale, trace the passage of air again, as it rises from your lungs, as it flows up your windpipe, and as it leaves your nostrils. It's important to breathe naturally in the practice of Prana Vikshana, unlike pranayama techniques in which your breathing is controlled in one way or another. Just let your body breathe at its own pace. Don't control it. Just observe. In addition to observing the passage of air, you can also observe sensations in your body that arise when you breathe. As you inhale, you can feel your chest rise and expand. And as you exhale, you can feel your chest fall gently. Observe these sensations as you continue to trace the passage of air with each inhalation and exhalation, as before. In addition to observing sensations in your chest, you can also observe sensations at your nostrils. As you inhale, notice how the air feels somewhat cool and dry on the inside of your nostrils. And as you exhale, notice how the air from your lungs feels somewhat warm and moist. Observe these sensations in your nostrils, along with sensations in your chest, as you continue to trace the passage of air with each breath. With each inhalation, observe the rising of your chest, as well as the cool, dry sensation in your nostrils, as you continue to trace the passage of air. With each exhalation, observe the gentle falling of your chest, as well as the warm, moist feeling in your nostrils as you continue to trace the passage of air. It's important to keep your attention firmly fixed on your breath without thinking about anything else. If your mind wanders, here's a method you can use to restrain your thoughts. As you inhale, count mentally 1, 2, 3. And as you exhale, count 4, 5, 6. As you continue to trace the passage of air and observe sensations in your chest and nostrils. With each inhalation, count 1, 2, 3, as you trace the passage of air and observe sensations in your chest and nostrils. With each exhalation, count 4, 5, 6, as you trace the passage of air and observe sensations in your chest and nostrils. When you practice this Prana Vikshana technique, you can begin just by tracing the passage of air and observing sensations in your chest and nostrils. Then, if your mind starts to wander, you can add the additional step of mentally counting to 6 with each breath. If your mind doesn't wander, you don't have to count. When you are able to perform Prana Vikshana with your mind firmly fixed on your breath, then you are ready to proceed to the next level of practice. This practice includes the use of a breath control technique, which is a simplified form of Ujjayi Pranayama. In Ujjayi Pranayama, you use the muscles of your larynx, the same muscles that you use to clear your throat. With those muscles, you can constrict the passage of air through your throat a little bit, just enough to produce a slight hissing sound as you exhale, like this. If you're not familiar with this technique, you can watch my video on Ujjayi Pranayama. You'll find a link in the description below. Begin by performing the Prana Vikshana practice, like before. With each breath, mentally trace the passage of air while you observe sensations in your chest and nostrils. When you feel ready, you can add the pranayama technique like this. Inhale a bit more deeply, and then exhale more slowly with a slight constriction of your larynx muscles, just enough to produce a soft hissing sound. Continue to trace the passage of air and observe sensations in your chest and nostrils. Inhale more deeply, then exhale more slowly, listening to the hissing sound while you trace the passage of air and observe sensations in your chest and nostrils. Be sure to adjust your breathing so that you remain completely comfortable. You should never feel lightheaded or short of breath during this practice. If you are completely comfortable so far, you can intensify this practice by inhaling just a little bit more deeply and then exhaling just a little bit more slowly. Continue to trace the passage of air while you listen to the hissing sound and observe sensations in your chest and nostrils. In the next level of this practice, you can pause for a moment in between each inhalation and exhalation, and pause again for a moment between each exhalation and inhalation. Like this. Inhale more deeply, then pause. Then exhale slowly with a slight constriction of the larynx muscles. Then pause again. Continue to trace the passage of air while you listen to the hissing sound and observe sensations in your chest and nostrils. Be sure to adjust your breathing so that you remain completely comfortable. You should never feel lightheaded or short of breath. If you are completely comfortable so far, you can intensify this practice by slightly increasing the length of each pause between inhalation and exhalation, and between exhalation and inhalation. But be sure to adjust your breathing so that you never feel lightheaded or short of breath. Finally, you can add a contemplative dimension to this practice by carefully observing what happens when you pause. Each time you pause, you can observe the absence of sensations in your chest and nostrils and the absence of the hissing sound. During each pause, there is nothing to observe. No sensations, no thoughts, no mental activities of any kind. But in each pause, you remain present as an awareful observer. In each pause, you remain present as a conscious being. In each pause, you remain present as pure consciousness.